Hello and welcome to Baking on a Budget. Now this time we're going to be making this absolutely delicious chocolate cheesecake with homemade cream cheese. Now the recipe for the homemade cream cheese will be at the end of this video, but as for right now, I have all of the materials over here to make this cheesecake. I'm going to run through them one by one, tell you exactly how much we've got and how much all of that costs. Now to begin with, we have 12 Bourbon Biscuits. These are chocolate biscuits. Could use any type of chocolate biscuit. Oreos would work, anything like that. Now we have 12 of those and that cost me 22 pence. Now we have 45 grams of butter, which is 33 pence. We have 100 grams of dark chocolate at 89 pence. We have 100 grams of icing sugar at 25 pence. We have 125 ml of whipping cream, and that is 40 pence. And we have our 350 grams of homemade cream cheese, which came to £1.75. Now, that's for the cheesecake and the base. We're going to put a chocolate sauce on top of this. Going to be delicious. 85 grams of dark chocolate at 75 pence and 110 ml of whipping cream at 38 pence. The total cost of that is £4.97, and we're going to get 8 absolutely delicious slices of chocolate cheesecake from that, and making it 62 pence a slice. Now, quite a few things to do here to get this cheesecake together, so let's get started. First things first, I want to get the butter in a pan and start melting that down. So I'm just going to put that on a very low heat for now, and whilst the butter is melting, we will prepare the Bourbon biscuits. Now, as I say, a thing of personal choice here, I do like to take the cream out of these and make it very nice and crispy on the base, and I'm just removing that with this old knife. I have 12 of these. It's going to make a really nice thick base on this cheesecake, and I'm just going to remove the cream from all of these. You could leave this in if you wished. You could just blend the whole lot of them down into a fine crumb with the cream in, but as I say, personal preference, I like to get as much of it out as I can. Okay, and with the cream taken out of all of those, I'm going to stick them in this polythene bag and turn them into crumbs. Again, this could be done with a food processor if you have one. It will only take seconds, but this will only take seconds as well. Break them down to a fine crumb. Any larger lumps which are left, we'll just grind up. Now, the butter has already melted. This is looking good. And what I'm going to do is just pour the crumb mixture into the butter. Looking very good. Now we're just going to take the spoon and combine that and get all of these crumbs coated with that butter. Now we're going to make this cheesecake in this 8-inch or 20 centimetre springform baking tray. So first thing we want to do is just get all of this crumb mixture into the bottom of here and firm it down on the bottom of the tin. Okay, now that's going in the fridge whilst we put the rest of the material for this cheesecake together. First thing we want to do is melt down our chocolate. So I'll just turn the heat on and we'll turn that down a little. I've already boiled this water, so it'll come to the boil again very quickly. And into that we just want to place the chocolate in a suitable container, and we just want to let that go until the chocolate is melted. And whilst that's happening, we can prepare this cream cheese. Now this is a little stiff, this cream cheese, but that's okay. It's going to work wonderfully in a cheesecake recipe. This is a no-bake cheesecake. We're just going to let this set in the fridge. So the first thing we want to do is just break that down a little, get it a little bit softer. A couple of minutes for that, and that's looking really nice and creamy. Now the next thing we want to do with this is add the melted chocolate to it and fold that in. So as soon as that chocolate is melted, that is what we'll do. And a couple of minutes later, the chocolate has melted beautifully. This could be done in the microwave, obviously, if you have one, but I just like to do it on the hob with the boiling water underneath it. Now, I'm going to get all of that out of there with the spatula into the cream cheese. It goes. Now, we want to mix this into the cream cheese. So just make sure we get all of the grain out of that and get it a nice consistent colour. That is almost there. Now to that I'm adding 125 ml of icing sugar or confectioner's sugar. Now this can be made, you can make your own icing sugar by grinding just normal sugar in like a coffee grinder or a spice grinder or something like that if you have one. You can simply put normal granulated sugar in there, grind it for a couple of minutes, and it will indeed come out as confectioner's sugar or icing sugar. And again, we just want to make sure all of that is nicely mixed in to the chocolate and cheesecake mix. Next thing we want is the whipping cream. And with the whipping cream, I'm just going to bring that together a little bit with this hand whisk. Again, you could use a manual whisk, many ways you could do this, but I just want to thicken it up a touch. That there will do just fine. Now we'll clean that out with a spoon. Now back to a cream cheese, chocolate and sugar mix, and we want to get this cream into the mix. This is going to be delicious. Okay, now I'm going to clean that fork off, and I'm just going to use the spatula to fold this cream into the chocolate mix. And again, same thing, we just want to continue doing this until it becomes a uniform colour and all of the grain, etc., has gone from it. That's going to do for me. We have the biscuit base back out of the fridge, and that is all set. And essentially what we want to do is get that mixture into this tin. And again, we want to absolutely clean that bowl with the spatula, get everything we can out of it, and now we just want to spread this out over the base, the biscuit base. And again, we want to get this as flat as we can. It doesn't have to be totally flat. Could use a spoon, or if you had a flat sort of spatula, you might be able to do that with that. This is going to go back in the fridge and set a little, and whilst it's doing that, we're going to make up the chocolate topping for this. Okay, and for the last phase of this beautiful chocolate cheesecake, we have 85 grams of dark chocolate going into the pan, and with that we have 110 ml of whipping cream. Now I'm going to put these over a low heat just until the chocolate melts, and then we're going to pour this over the top of the cheesecake, which has been in the fridge for some time now and is nicely set. So here we go. So just a very low heat on the hob. We just want to keep an eye on that. Stir it until all the chocolate is melted into the cream, and then that will be ready. Really, that is just a couple of minutes, and that chocolate is melted down. Get all the little pieces of it broken up and mixed into that cream. Okay, that will do for me. I'm going to let this cool a little. I'll get the cheesecake out of the fridge and we will finish this recipe off. Okay, there's our cheesecake. That is nicely firmed up and set at this point. And we have the spatula to get this marvellous chocolate sauce. As I say, this has cooled down a little. I didn't want to put it on there too hot. And we just want to pour that over the top of the cheesecake. Very good. Now, we can simply move this around, let it pour right into the corners. Well, not into the corners, but into the rim of the tin. There it is, right. This is going back in the fridge to allow this chocolate sauce on top to set properly. And then we're going to cut into it, take a look, and we're going to take a taste. And I'm saying that's going to be beautiful. Right, now this has been setting in the fridge for probably about an hour, and I'm just going to free it from the side of the case if I can, and the glass under it, and we'll just slide that off if we can. Yes, that, folks, is looking good. Now I'm going to cut into that, take a slice of it, and we'll see exactly how that tastes. Okay, chocolate cheesecake with homemade cream cheese. Absolutely delicious. Look at that. Beautiful cream and chocolate sauce on top. Cheesecake itself is looking really good. In all honesty, it could have been in the fridge a little longer to set a little longer, and the main cake is back in there now. But for the purposes of tasting, we're going to take a slice off this. That is absolutely wonderful. Fairly simple to make, as you've seen with the homemade cream cheese. That was in a previous video. I'll link that video here, how to make your own cream cheese. That is absolutely marvellous. As I say, tomorrow that will be set a little bit more firmly and it will be a little bit more handleable. It's just curled a little bit, with it still being a little soft from the fridge. Now, as I say, that whole cheesecake came to £4.97. £4.97 for the whole thing, making this slice 67 pence. And I've got to say, that is worth 67 pence. That is absolutely delicious. If that was served with a little pouring cream around it. Now, can I say, as ever, if you've enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. I urge you to have a go at making some of your own cream cheese and making a beautiful chocolate cheesecake like this one. It really is delicious. And if you would like to see more videos like this in the future, not just cheesecakes, there'll also be meals, snacks, pasties, sausage rolls, this type of stuff. Please do consider subscribing to the channel. Many more videos to come. And in the meantime, I thank you very much. And I am going to enjoy the rest of this cheesecake. Thank you.